This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Not too bad. Long night last night at work, but other than that, pretty good. Things going pretty good for our team right now. The Reds have won four of the last five. I think they have an off day today, and then we got a big series coming up with the best team of baseball and the hottest team of baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. Hopefully we can get in there and maybe win that series, I hope. But the big news was Hunter Green, comeback pitch. I think what he pitched, Chris, 6 innings, I believe. I think 3 hit baseball, had I think 7 or 8 strikeouts, pitched really well. I was worried because his last start in AAA wasn't great, but man, he proved he was ready. So if he can pitch like that with the other guys we got been pitching, we should be in good shape with our pitching staff. But yeah, I was very impressed with Green. He couldn't win any better, really, for a first start back after being out on about 2 months. So, your thoughts on the game and the Reds?
Thought Hunter Green looked excellent. Excuse me. He looked excellent. First start coming back off the IL. He multiple pitches in the hundreds. And if he wasn't hitting if it wasn't 100 or 101, it was most of his fastballs were right at 99. So he had his velocity. He had that slider going. I thought he pitched real well. If it wouldn't have been his first start back, they probably would have left him out there for another inning because he hadn't thrown a crazy amount of pitches. But I think they just didn't want to push it too much with him just coming back. But I think they would have probably pitched him at least the 7th inning if it had been a normal start for him. But no, the Reds hit the ball. Drives me crazy because we beat the Phillies, which is awesome. But I go Monday, they score 1 run, and then they beat the Phillies the next 2 days, and they scored 8 runs and 6 runs. And the day before I went, they scored 14 runs. It's just like you just got if they could just score. I was talking about this last night to Stevie. If they could just get where they scored 3 to 4 runs a game consistently, like every game, if they could get 3 to 4 runs, they'd win most of their games with the way our pitching staff is. We get 3 runs, we're going to win most of our games we play the way our pitching staff is. Don't get me wrong. You have the outliers where both teams are hitting the ball and you get one of them 9-8 games, but I mean, if you look, our pitching staff usually a lot of times holds the team to 3-4 runs. Our problem is we might only get 1 run, and then we might go on these runs like we have the last couple of games where we score a bunch. But last night we put the ball in play and forced the Phillies. The Phillies made a couple of errors that helped us too. But the guys that we traded for are coming up big. Like Ke'Bryan Hayes had I think a couple of hits last night. I know at least one, but I think. And his defense at third has improved our infield so much. Like our infield's pretty damn good right now with him at third, Dela Cruz at short, and McLean at second. Which last night Espinal played at second, but I mean we have pretty real solid infield. And then that Miguel Andujar, that dude's he keeps this up when his I don't know how long we have him under contract, but he keeps this up. He's gonna get paid. Like this dude's hitting he's hitting 400 over the last couple of weeks, and he was hitting 280, 290 when the Reds traded when he was in Oakland, and the Reds traded for him, and he's helped our batting order a lot because the way he's hitting the ball, it's given Dela Cruz protection. So now Dela Cruz is going to see some better pitches because they don't want to just walk him because you got a guy behind him that's been making you pay.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. If I remember right, Chris, I think this is his final year of his deal, or he's going to get paid somewhere. Hopefully, maybe the Reds. I mean, we'll see. And they may have to make some decisions on some other players to keep him. But right now, it looks like it'd be a smart move. One thing I wanted to bring up about the Reds, because we talked about how the fans are, and I was reading something and I forgot to bring it up yesterday when you brought up some of the great ideas that the Reds fans thought. Um, they were just all over Hayes. Hayes is no good. He shouldn't be on the team. Shouldn't be playing.
Which
I mean,
Hayes?
uh,
Austin
the
Hayes?
the nothing new one, the other one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just going crazy on him. I think they forget, man. He had a couple injuries. I mean, I'm not making excuses for him, but he was playing outstanding. He was by far our best hitter on the team. And I know he's not been near as consistent. I don't know what his batting average is right now, but I know it's not what it was at the start of the season. But what's your take on Hayes?
I like Hayes. Like you said, I agree with what you were saying. He was hitting the ball real good, and then he got hurt. He came back, got hurt again, and then he's came back, and he's still trying to get back in that groove. I think he'll get back in that groove, and it'll be fine. If you look over the last few games, he's been hitting the ball better than what he was. But yeah, I see people say that. I don't agree with it. But you get these fans on the internet that a guy strikes out one time, he's terrible. Like, or they act like going up there and hitting a baseball is easy. Like he's terrible. He can't hit a fastball. The people, the greatest players and like the best players in the league hit the ball 30% of the time, or maybe a little over 30% of the time. They're hitting 300 or 310. Like there ain't very many guys, if any, that hit. Well, I know there ain't nobody that hits the ball 50% of the time for the whole season. You don't see guys hit 500 for like. I just think your casual fans don't understand that baseball is a game of failure. You fail more than you're going to fail more than you succeed in baseball, and that's the numbers prove it. Like great players are succeeding 25 or 27 to 30% of the time. You do that in any other sport, you're definitely not considered good.
Yeah, baseball's definitely. I mean.
Oh, there's fans saying that we should bench Matt McLain, and Espinal should be playing over Matt McLain. Like,
yeah,
people go, oh, he's only hitting 230 for the season. Okay, yeah, the last month and a half since he's finally getting back in his groove, he's hitting 285.
Yeah, and forget that he was hitting 180.
Yeah, he was hitting 180 at the beginning of the season, and he missed all last year having shoulder surgery. He missed a whole season due to shoulder surgery. It's going to take him a little bit to get back in his groove, and he's starting to get back in his groove. And plus, defensively,
yes,
he's one of the best defenders we have. Him and now that you added Brian Hayes, them two are two of the best gloves that we have.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy the way some of the fans are. We're playing pretty good, but what are you expecting? I mean, we're going to be playing the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe won 12 in a row. They destroyed Pittsburgh, destroyed Skeens the other day. They beat them 14-1, I think, that game. They destroyed Skeens. I mean, they're on fire. I think definitely the best team in baseball. I don't think there's any question about that right now. Now, not always does the best team in baseball win the World Series. We all know that.
Yeah.
But what do you think the key is for the Reds to try to come in here and win this series? Try to get at least 2.
We got to get key hits when we get runners on. We got to score. I'm not saying we got to score 7-8 runs a game, but we can't score 1 run a game. You can't go in and try to beat the Brewers 1-0. Like you got if we score 3-4 runs, I think we'll have a chance. We'll be in the game. Main thing is at least I'd like to win a series. If we can get 2 of the 3 games, I'd be ecstatic. But where we're at, you don't want to get swept. If we can get 1 game, I'd be happy. But I'm hoping we can win the series. Now, hey, it'd be great if we could pull off and sweep them. But if we can win the series, I'd put us in pretty good shape. And the Reds, and they were talking about this last night. Like we've won series against all the good teams, like all the division leaders in baseball. We won series against them. Like we played good against all the top teams. So I expect it to be a good series this weekend. But you're right, the Brewers, they've just been on fire, and like hopefully we can find a way to cool them down a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's move on from the Reds and let's talk a little Dodgers. Go ahead.
We're only one game out of the wild card now as well because the Mets lost again last night.
Yep, it's one game out. We got the
we also Cubs. Hey, the Cubs are falling too. They lost again, and they had a key guy get hurt as well. So they I can't remember the guy's name, but they were talking about earlier on the radio. They had a key guy go down, so the Cubs could be maybe in a little bit of trouble as well.
We if I remember right, we tied our best record of the season, 6 games over 500. We got that now again. Breaking news real quick here. Japan just threw a no-hitter in their little league game. It was a combined. It wasn't just one pitcher, but they threw a no-hitter. And they also hit the ball. Well, they won 12-0 and had 11 hits.
What's crazy is that's the 9th time Japan has done that in the Little League World Series. That's what's crazy.
That is crazy.
9 no-hitters by one country.
Yeah, that's nuts. But let's talk a little Dodgers. Dodgers lose again. They're now a game back of San Diego. I said yesterday on the show, I think San Diego's going to win that division. The Dodgers bullpen is just not getting the job done. They got off to a 5-2 lead. But one thing I did want, and the bullpen ended up giving it up in the 8th and lost 6-5. But the thing I wanted to talk about kind of was Ohtani. Ohtani's a great hitter, great player, and I think he's a good pitcher too. But he's coming back off injury, and he's only pitching. I think this 4 innings was about as long as he's pitched this year. He gave up 5 hits and 4 runs. Their bullpen's not great as it is, and then you tax your bullpen. And I think that could be a big problem with the bullpen because you could tax your bullpen when you let him pitch 3 or 4 innings a game, and that's all he's pitched. I just don't know. Ohtani is a smart move to pitch, and could you see them maybe pitching him even if they make the playoffs? Would he pitch a playoff game?
Yeah. Well, I'd said this a few weeks ago. I thought they were making the mistake the way they were using them. If you're going to try to use him as a pitcher right now, you bring him in as a closer, or
middle relief
out of the bullpen. Yeah, either middle relief or a closer. I would say probably more of maybe a setup guy in the 8th inning or something. But if he's not ready to start and try to get and be able to try to give you what's considered a quality start, which is I think about 6-7 innings, you can't keep throwing him out there because you're putting your bullpen that's already struggling. You're making it harder on that bullpen because every time he pitches, you're having to fill 5-6 innings with a bullpen. Every time you're throwing him out there to pitch. So yeah, if I was him, I'd go with a different strategy and try him out of the bullpen if you're still wanting to pitch him this year. If he wasn't ready to be a starting pitcher, I'd have just waited till next year. To pitch him. But if you're dead set on pitching him this year, I would do it out of the pen because I think that would help your bullpen. For one, that could help maybe strengthen your bullpen up a little bit. But for 2, it's going to take some of the pressure that you've been putting on some of the pressure off of your bullpen that you've been putting on them by when you start him. Now you got your bullpen now has to make it through 5-6 innings, and then the next day you're asking some of them same guys to go out there and give you more innings. So, but yeah, I think they're going to keep pitching them, but I do think it's a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's pitched 5 innings anytime this year. So I think this 4 innings is the most he's pitched. And I said 5 hits, 4 runs. Yeah, I don't know. It don't make a lot of sense to me. And that could be part of the reason why the Dodgers are, still a good team, still one of the better teams in baseball with the record. They just have dropped back one game to the Padres, who are really hot right now. One of the hotter teams since the All-Star break. And the Padres got a lot of talent. They made some moves. So the Dodgers could be in trouble as far as winning that division. Still think they make the playoffs. They got too good of a hitting team, I think, not to. The other real quick note, Houston won yesterday. Seattle lost. So now Houston's back up a game on Seattle. Seattle's playing right now, playing the Orioles. They were down 1-0 early in the game. Another thing I wanted to touch on, we just mentioned the Little League World Series, was Texas and Connecticut played last night. Classic game. Game went quick. Texas won that game 1-0. Texas pitched a one-hitter, and Connecticut pitched a three-hitter. So it was one heck of a game. So get a chance to check out the Little League World Series on ESPN. I think they pretty much cover most of the games till they get to the finals, and then usually it goes to ABC. Chris, before we go to our hot seat questions, you got anything you want to bring up?
No, not really. I don't think there wasn't a whole lot other than like baseball that really happened. Other than, I mean, unless you want to jump on the train with Jay and everybody else and talk about Shedeur Sanders for an hour. I'm about tired of that. Hearing that. Why are we talking so much? I don't get.
Chris, let me ask you: will we be talking about him if his last name wasn't Sanders?
No, not like this. Like,
no.
I mean, you had guys go on ESPN and saying that the Browns aren't treating him fair, or setting him up for failure because he's not getting enough reps, and then they're having him start, and it ain't fair. Every other rookie quarterback that's going to be a backup is getting the same amount of fucking reps as he's getting, and they're going out there and doing the same thing, and ain't nobody bitching about that.
And you know the funny thing, you know what who we haven't heard hardly anything about, and it might be a good thing for him, you know, because it might be taking pressure off him, is the Cam Ward.
Yeah.
What have you heard about him? Nothing. I've barely heard his name mentioned on TV. That could work out good for him. It's crazy. I mean, but you know how the media is. They go nuts on certain stuff, and just like they want to talk to Cowboys every day, and then now they want to talk to Shedeur Sanders every day. Okay, well, I had a few questions here.
No.
I thought you should.
Stephen A. had to go say it was because of race. He had to turn it into a race thing. It's like, okay, yeah, he got drafted, or he's their fourth-string quarterback because of race. But the number one draft pick in the draft and is going to be the starting quarterback for Tennessee is also black. Like, come on, guys. Like, it ain't always about race. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things that are. There's things that are. I'm not saying there isn't. But when it comes to football like that, they're going to play. Them owners are going to play whoever's the best. Whoever they think gives them the best chance to win, they're going to play. They don't care where you're from, what color. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. They care about winning and making money.
That's all them. That's all them owners care about.
And it may not be in that order. I'd say it's making money first and then winning.
Yeah.
In most cases. Well, let's do these questions. Get your opinions and my opinions on some stuff. The first question I had is for NFL. Does Buffalo make it to the Super Bowl this year?
I'm going to say that's going to be a close one. I think it's either going to be Buffalo or Baltimore. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I like what they've done with the roster, and I think they're finally going to get over that hump. I think Josh Allen's finally kind of like Peyton Manning. It took him a little while in the playoffs. You have a little struggles here and there, and then you finally get over that hump. I think it's going to be the year that Allen gets over that hump.
I'm going to say no because I picked Buffalo the last 3 years and they've let me down. So
you didn't say to win the Super Bowl, did you say to go, right?
Well, yeah, to make it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go with Baltimore to make the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to take Buffalo. This will probably be the year they make it though, because I didn't pick them. Next question is a boxing one. Who wins, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Hey, how's it go? Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe, who wins that fight, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
I'd say Muhammad Ali, because I think Muhammad Ali would been able to avoid the big shot enough where and outbox him.
I agree.
I think the only way Tyson beats him is knocking him out. I don't think Tyson would have beat him in like a decision if it went a full fight. And I think Muhammad Ali was elusive enough and smart enough that he could get through a fight.
I think so too. Not only was he pretty smart, Ali had a pretty good chin too. If Tyson beat him, he'd have to do it early. If it got past the 6th, 7th round, Tyson would be in trouble.
I was gonna say past the third. I was gonna say past the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, I think he'd have to knock him out 3rd or 4th round to be honest. But I'd go with Ali too. Okay, Major League Baseball. As of right now, who is your favorite to win the World Series?
I'm going to stick with my. Well, actually, not sticking with it because the team I'm going to say would have been who I thought was going to be in the World Series out of the National League. But I thought another team was going to beat them, but now I don't think they will. So I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay,
I did have earlier in the year. I had the Detroit Tigers, but
Yep.
beating the Phillies in the World Series. But now I think the Phillies. I like what the Phillies have done, and I know that their biggest thing is going right now is their pitching. They got to figure out their rotation a little bit, but they get that figured back out. They're going to be. I know the Brewers are the hottest team. It's just hard for me to pick the hottest team.
yeah, but I tell you, they're doing so much so well. The Brewers are, and they've really done it. I know they didn't do it right at the first start of the season, but man, since about for about the last.
Oh yeah, they've been on a.
Yeah, right now, if I was going to pick a favorite, I would pick the Brewers. But I originally had picked Detroit also, so I'll stick with Detroit. But the Brewers they're something else right now. Next question, Chris. We're going to go to a pro wrestling question. Who's the greatest wrestler of all time between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan?
Oh gosh, you're asking the wrong person this because I'm going to be biased, but. I think it's close.
It's close.
I'm a big Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. You know that. But the more I think, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I almost would have to go with Hogan just because I don't think if there wasn't Hogan, I don't know if there'd ever been a Stone Cold.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right.
So I'd have to go with Hogan, even though Stone Cold's my favorite. I mean, that's why my son's name was Austin. So but I would say Hulk Hogan for everything because I mean, if it wasn't for him and Andre and all that stuff, wrestling may have never been to the point that it was when Stone Cold came around. Now Stone Cold was awesome and he was one of the top merch guys and everything, but just the longevity of Hogan, I think I'd have to go with Hogan.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think you messed up still. Calling Austin. You should have called him Stone Cold Gonzalez. See how you like that name. Okay. Next up, got another NFL question. Who has the better season between Detroit and Philadelphia?
Know what?
Who has the better season? NFL,
NFL.
Detroit Lions or Philadelphia Eagles?
That's gonna be. I'm gonna go with Detroit, but it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna go with Detroit.
I'm going with Detroit too. I think I'm going with my heart more than my head, but Philly. I think a lot of times the team that wins the Super Bowl take a step back, and Detroit's really hungry.
I'm going with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit because I really feel like they were the best team last year. but all the damn injuries on defense kind of derailed it. And I think they'll be healthier this year. So I think this is going to be kind of like their revenge tour because they felt like kind of got screwed a little bit by all the injuries last year. So I like Detroit.
I do too. They're probably my Colts, of course, my favorite team, but I really like this coach Campbell. So I mean, they may be my second favorite team if I had one. Got two more questions. Next one's Major League Baseball. In your opinion, who is the most underrated baseball player of all time?
Underrated. Man,
I've got mine. I'll give mine. Mine is Dave Concepcion. He played in the 70s, played for the Big Red Machine, the shortstop. He's the one that was one of the first ones to throw that long throw from deep in the hole to one bounce throw to the first base. He kind of invented that. One of the best defensive players. He ended up becoming a pretty good hitter. I mean, he started out like a 230 hitter, but ended up being about a 268, 270 hitter. And back in those days, shortstops didn't hit the ball. Most teams, shortstops were not very good hitters. But he got better at that. He's one of my favorite players of all time, and I think he's very underrated. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Man, that's a tough question. Underrated. I'm gonna go with man. You said of all time, not even because that changes.
Yeah, well, just your opinion. I mean,
I'm not going to say maybe of all time. The guy I feel like was way underrated was Joey Votto for the Cincinnati Reds. I think he kind of got overlooked by the rest of baseball and some of the national media because he was with the Reds and they never really got to have that playoff success. But if you look at his numbers was right up there. Hell, he was right there for years. There was years he was in the MVP running. There was years he was right there with Goldschmidt for the Gold Glove at first. Like I think Votto was a lot better player than what most people give him credit for.
Okay. My last question is an NFL question. I think most people are going to think this is cut and dry, but I think it's closer than what people would think. And I know number-wise, it's definitely both have great numbers. But is who was better, Randy Moss or Jerry Rice?
I would go with Jerry Rice, but to me, it's like you said, it's real close. But I think Jerry Rice was just a little bit better of a route runner. Maybe Moss had that speed and it was big.
Yep.
Was great at making the contested catches. He wasn't a bad route runner. I think Rice was a little bit better route runner. So I think I'd probably go with the Rice.
Yeah, I think Rice is the right answer, but I think it's closer. If you look at the numbers and look at everything, I think it's a lot closer than what people would think. Moss is right there. He really is. And like you said, he was a different type receiver than Rice. I mean, no doubt. But I think, yeah, you got to go Rice on that. But yeah, Moss is definitely probably a strong number two, I would think.
You remember years ago when Moss was in college and played here in Muncie at Ball State?
Yep.
Place was packed. Him and what's it? The guy, damn it, the quarterback that ended up playing for the Jets, Pennington.
Yep, Chad Pennington.
When they both played for Marshall, played here in Muncie.
And then I got one last question because you mentioned Marshall. Why do you think? I all the time I see people list their greatest sports movies of all time, and most of them never mention Marshall. Why do you think that is? Because I think it's an excellent movie.
Yeah, I think it's a real good movie too. Maybe just because of the
story.
I was gonna say maybe just because of how like a sad of a story it is, like as well. Maybe, but yeah, because I I mean, anytime I've watched it multiple times, and like if I'm flipping through and I see it's on somewhere, I'll stop and watch it. I thought it was a real good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding. And then
I watched one of my favorite sports movies. Well, I watched it twice here in the last couple of weeks. That's Remember the Titans.
Yeah, that's good. One other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you got to see it. It was actually pretty good. It was a tribute to Hulk Hogan on Fox, done by TMZ. Now I was kind of skeptical of it because TMZ was doing it, but they did a great job. And the thing that surprised me, Sylvester Stallone. It was an hour show, and Sylvester Stallone probably had 10 or 15 minutes of it with talking about Hogan, and it was very well done. It was very fair. I mean, they talked about the good stuff. They talked about the bad stuff. I mean, I thought I was shocked because I'm not a huge TMZ guy fan, but it was very good. It was on Tuesday night, and
yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I did see that Marcus said that it was very well done, so I figured it had to be done pretty good because because Marcus was a big Hogan fan, so if they'd have just shit on Hogan, Marcus would have been mad. So I knew it was had to be done pretty good. But yeah, I didn't get to see it. I'm sure I probably could find it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure on YouTube. Yeah, it was very fair. They had Mark Henry on there who had been critical. I mean, he loved Hogan, but he was critical of Hogan at times. He was on a lot. Of course, Jimmy Hart, Charlotte Flair was on there too. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was really good. So people that's a Hogan fan, or even if you're not a Hogan fan, like I said, I thought it was very fair. Vince was on there more than anybody. Vince McMahon, and he was very hurt that he wasn't invited to the Tim Bell salute on Raw. He felt like he should have been there, which I understand him feeling that way, but I also understand why he's not. Why TKO wouldn't allow him to be there. So kind of a tough situation. Well, Chris, that's all I've got. Unless you got anything else, we'll get out of here for a day.
No, that's about all I have as well. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room and at ESEN. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all other social media. And we'll see you guys tomorrow right around 2 o'clock.